So we all remember on February 2nd, 2021, about 3.5 years ago, EA Sports on their Twitter account dropped this. And of course, the internet lost their minds. We had been without a college football video game at that point for what, about 7 years? And it was something we needed. I mean, we were in the thick of the pandemic at the time, and we had just finished watching a football season where a lot of the stadiums were empty. So we needed something. We needed something to boost our spirits, if you will. And that was just what the doctor ordered. 3.5 years later, now here we are. The game has been released for those of you who went ahead and got the 3-day early access. I think there were 500,000 people that were online at one point playing. They crashed the servers. I mean, I turned on my game when I got home from work, and I wasn't even able to log in online. I had to wait for like some cloud feature to become available so I can start my dynasty. So I dabbled in some Play Now. I played FSU. I played Georgia Tech. And first thing that jumped out at me was this game. There's similarities and differences to Madden. Okay. And there's pros and cons to that. And I'm going to get into my positives and negatives of this game in a second. Overall, I do have a few negatives, but overall my thoughts are good. It is a very, very good game. I think they did a great job. They hit a home run. And you know what? I'm going to talk about it. The number one thing that jumped out at me was it's challenging. Even if you've played recent Madden games, this game's a different animal. It plays much faster. It's smoother, more explosive. It's as college football games should be. It should be conducive to more big plays. So I do like that about it. It plays a little bit better than recent Madden titles, which is great. It's very wide open. The playbooks are insane. I'm an experienced NCAA football gamer, but I played more the early 2000s versions on the PS2, on the Xbox, early days of Xbox 360. So it was a different game at that time. And I remember regularly just throttling people on All-American mode. This is a different animal, okay? I had to go back to varsity and kind of, take a step back and start from there because I got my butt handed to me. Judging by what I saw on Twitter today, it was kind of the same all around. It's challenging. Don't even get me started on the kicking. That is insane in itself. But I like that it's challenging and it's a new mechanism that we have to learn because for many years the kicking mechanics in these games have been the same for year after year after year. They changed that, and I like it. Another thing I like is, and this is something I have been wanting in sports games in general, but especially college football games, the crowd reactions. And I mean accurate crowd reactions. Not you score at home and you see some people jumping up and down and other animations of people like just standing and looking around. No, I mean in unison, the crowd erupts when you make a big play. Hell, you don't even have to score a touchdown. When you start running down the sidelines and you see open grass in front of you, you see the crowd stand up. I've been wanting that for years. They could have done it before, but they finally fixed that. They did it now. And I really like it. That's a really cool feature in the game. You even see the stadium kind of shaking a little bit. That's a really cool animation. The different announcing teams that you can use for different games. If you want to have more of a big game feel, you can have Herbie and Fowler commentating your games. Or like regional coverage kind of thing, you can have Reese Davis, Jesse Palmer covering your game. It's pretty cool. It's pretty immersive. If you are a college football fan, a college football nerd, you will like this game. If you've never played before, I suggest start slow, start on varsity level, which I think is the default. Maybe even start on freshman level. Start on easy, get acclimated, get the hang of it. They tweak some things like on option plays. It used to be, I think, that you hold the X button to hand it off. Now, if you don't hit anything, you hand it off automatically. You have to press the button to keep it. So they flipped a couple things around. It takes a little getting used to, but I love it so far. A few negatives. First thing that I will comment on, and this is especially true with the Canes, is you are missing quite a few players. Now, I don't know if all of those players opted out. Maybe it's some freshmen that, are still reporting in, for the summer semester and all that. I know earlier, Daryl Porter on his Twitter, he announced that, he put that post up that he's in the game, the EA thing. And that's great, because if you're going into this game and you're not aware, the starting corners on the Miami Hurricanes are not Damari Brown and Daryl Porter. It is fake generated players with fake names, and they suck. They do. I'm sorry. You're going to get torched. I'm glad Damari's going to be, or Daryl Porter is going to be in the game. Hopefully Damari follows. Maybe more guys will decide to opt in, and you'll have a higher percentage of actual players in the game. And I think this is going to be a regular thing moving forward. I don't know if they're going to have to do that every year, but I think moving forward, because of summer semester and early enrollees, you're going to have some players missing, and they're going to be having updates available for your roster. So I'm sure that's going to be a thing moving forward. I'm sure there's going to be an update for rosters probably tomorrow and probably more the next day. So I'm not too concerned about that. You can always go in and edit players old school style. So it is what it is. Playing defense, not going to lie, I don't love it. I do like the added features of showing different looks on defense. Like you can go to cover 2, but then you can hit an audible to make your secondary show cover 3 or show blitz to kind of throw off the offense. I like that. I like that little feature they threw in there. But overall, I don't know. To me, playing defense isn't that satisfying. I remember, again, playing any NCAA from like 01 to 06, 07. When you make a hit, when you make a big hit, you feel it. Controller starts shaking like it's going to jump out of your hands. The screen shakes a little bit. It really makes you feel like you just depleted somebody. That's not really the case in this game, as has been with many recent Madden titles. Playing defense, those big hits, the gang tackling, I don't know. It's just, it's wonky. It's weird, and it has been for years. That carried over into this game. That's one of the negative things that carried over into this game. But hopefully, they fix that eventually. Hopefully they make it a little bit more realistic instead of, guys just kind of getting spun to the ground all contorted and weird. Oh, and here's another negative. No mass substitutions available. What is that? That was one of the coolest features of the game for many years, especially in college. Not so much in the NFL. You see it more in college because there's really not that many blowouts in the NFL. In college, there's a lot of blowouts. You're going to be facing these FCS opponents. You're going to be facing low-ranked teams in your conference that you're going to beat by 30, 40, 50 points. One of the cool things that you could do is in past games, you could hit mass substitutions on offense, mass substitutions on defense, or just the entire team, where you can take out your first string in late third quarter, let's say, put in your second string, give your freshmen some playing time, let them up their attributes, and you give your starters some rest so they don't get hurt. Makes sense, right? For whatever reason, that is not in this game. I really hope that is something they either update for this version or they have it for future editions of the game. Aside from that, I mean, those are the only couple nitpicking. If I'm really nitpicking here, there's only a couple negatives I can think of. Aside from that, overall, I give this thing 8.5, 9 out of 10. Really enjoying playing it so far. Probably going to play a little more tonight. So going to get the hang of Dynasty, and really get used to this new challenge. Because, again, even if you're an experienced gamer, it is not easy. I warn you. I caution you. If you've gotten... if you're going to play for the first time over the next few days, it is tough. Oh, and also, as I teased earlier today, there will be some gaming content coming. I have been wanting to dabble into that. I dabbled into it a couple of years ago. I remember I played NCAA, I think it was 04, 05 for you guys, a couple of videos. Became kind of a pain with the old system. Going to do it now with the PS5. It's a little easier with the new system. So we'll definitely be getting into that soon once I get the hang of this newer, tougher game. I don't want to get embarrassed in front of you guys. I will be definitely live streaming some content, maybe recording some stuff. So that will be coming very, very soon. Okay. But anyways, please hit the like button, subscribe, tell your friends. And as always, go Canes. Have a good night, everybody.